Hey everybody, and welcome back to another book review. So I have started this book and stopped, and restarted and stopped, and finally I got through it many years later, and that is Devil in the White City by Erik Larson. It's not typically in the vein of things that I read, but what originally drew me to it was just the story itself. Like it just sounded very intriguing. And there's only been one other book that I have read that has a similar flow where it's mostly just talking about it's almost like a textbook, right? Like it's story, but it's also a crap ton of facts. And that is The Murder of Helen Jewett, which I love the book, The Murder of Helen Jewett. So a lot of people were like, you might like this one. And a lot of people love this book. I know it's used a lot in different college classes and things like that. And it is very good in terms of purpose of talking about history and research and all those things. So like things that I love. But I actually didn't like it that much. It's like, I give it like a 2.5, a 3, really, because even though like the facts and everything that was going on was great information and very fascinating because I'm a nerd, I just didn't like that it was like two stories together, you know? I really just wanted it to be two separate stories, especially because I felt like the part that was mostly talking about Burnham and the fair and the building of the city and all that stuff was so boring. There was nothing exciting about it. Like usually I can find like something exciting and kind of keep me through it, and I think that's why I kept stopping, because I got so bored with the Burnham piece. But the Holmes piece, the H.H. Holmes piece, that was far more fascinating to me. And I think it's because there's not as much facts still in like history or in remains of what went on with Holmes. And so therefore a lot of it is more story based. And so I think it just read better. So for that reason, I give it like I said, 2.5, 3-ish. And as I was kind of like trying to follow up, because a lot of times when I'm reading historic fiction, or historic nonfiction is the case with this, I usually am like Googling stuff as I'm reading, and doing research as well. And I just, even in finding information about both of these men, like Burnham is just kind of a boring story. So I was just really kind of shocked and surprised that this book is as popular as what it is. But the Holmes piece is very interesting. I am a little surprised as well. I think they said that the film rights to the book, or an adaptation of the book, Leonardo DiCaprio purchased, and nothing's come out of that yet. Kind of surprised. I do think that there's a lot that could really be done with it, especially like in almost like a mini TV series situation. There's a lot. It wouldn't even have to be, you know, like a mini series. It could be a longer series. Like there's a lot that you could really do with that. And I think if written the right way and told the right way, it'd be very interesting. I do have a small love of the Gilded Age, not because that's ever really been something that like super sticks in my head, but I do think it's a fascinating period in history, and so I was very excited to read a story that takes place in the Gilded Age. I think a lot of times a lot of what I read takes place in World War II, because that's my other favorite spot in history, but I'm really enjoying reading more from the Gilded Age. That's like slowly becoming another love section in history for me. So yeah, overall, didn't completely hate the book, but it wasn't my favorite. Several people have recommended it several times for me, and so I finally got through it, guys. Yay. But yeah, it's just I just wanted to only read about Holmes. That's the only part of it I cared about. But I mean, the history piece of it was actually really fascinating, so I did enjoy that. Thank you so much for watching. As always, thank you for any book recommendations. I am about to start my next book, and I am so excited because it literally came today. And that is the next book in a series that I have been reading, and I've been waiting for the third book to come out because I read it too fast. I read the second book way too fast, and several of my coworkers at school were all kind of up in a tizzy when they read the second part of it, the same way I was. My boss, my assistant principal, he actually came in my room and he went, "What? You made me read this in what?" So I'm very excited. I just unboxed it. I'm so excited to read it. I'm not gonna tell you what it is, but you'll be seeing that coming out soon. And I will see you all in the next book review. Bye.